Presentation is designed to get you started with a nutritional practice or functional medicine practice and also to show you how to market it. The purpose of marketing is to do two things, is to create interest in your practice and create awareness of your practice. Sales are the result of good marketing. Sales is not marketing. And there's a lot of behaviors that doctors do that they think are marketing but aren't really. A big one is doing a sales pitch to a patient. You do an exam and then you try to get them to sign up for a lot of treatments. This can harm your reputation, and it really isn't marketing. Practice management types have been selling this kind of idea, and it isn't. You're not a salesman. Marketing creates sales without you selling. Some people think that their office will sell for them or market for them. You get a really nice office and people are going to be just drawn to it. Same thing with collecting credentials. They think that the more credentials they have, the better their marketing is going to be. I remember one doc in particular was going to go to medical school in the Caribbean because he thought if he had an MD after his name, it would market and grow his practice. That's not marketing. Okay, spending money on ads. You have to do this smart, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. And when we talk about marketing, most practices think of marketing in terms of attracting the new patient and coming up with some kind of compelling offer or some way to get new people, complete strangers, into their office. This is actually the most expensive and ineffective type of marketing that you can do. People are all about SEO now. It used to be Yellow Pages ad. If I get good SEO, I'll get a lot of new patients and things like that. You can market to new people, but it is the most expensive and ineffective way of marketing. Attracting strangers is the most expensive form of marketing that you can do. And also, if it works, you're going to fill your office with people who don't really get you. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about dirt cheap and free marketing. The cheapest way to market and the most effective way to market is to market first to people who currently and actively use your services. And this is important because do they know everything that you do? I know for chiropractors, it's really common for people to think that, oh, you just do backaches or headaches or whatever you happen to have treated them for, but do they know you can do anything for asthma or allergies or ADD or things like that? So you can teach them that, which will do two things. It will get them to sign up for the new service, and it will get them to refer people to you for the new service. Second group of people you want to market to are people who have used your services in the past but are no longer active. Practice management types often call this recalling, and you want to keep in touch with these people and give them reasons to come to your office. Third group is people that you've considered using your services but have not acted on it. This might be somebody you know at the Kiwanis meeting or people that you have met and know about what you do. That's the third group that at least are familiar with you. And the last group you want to market to are strangers, people who don't know you and who have never used your services. The least expensive and most effective place to begin your marketing program is in your waiting room. You have a captive audience there. And unfortunately, most doctors don't realize that, and they put a lot of things that don't necessarily help their practice. You need to control what's in your waiting room. Get rid of all your magazines. People magazine has drug ads in it. If you're trying to run a health practice, that's going to work against you. You want to throw out any outside reading material. You have a captive audience there, so everything in your waiting room should talk about you and your practice and health and the kinds of services that you have to offer. Once again, I ask, do all your patients know the kinds of services that you have to offer and the kinds of conditions they treat? Especially if you don't have a nutritional practice and you're beginning to develop one, the waiting room is the place to begin that marketing. Fill your waiting room with newsletters, reports, questionnaires. You want patients to begin a discussion with you about health. You don't want to sell them. You want them to ask you about these issues, and that's handled in your waiting room. Practice consultants have been trying to get doctors to start conversations that sell products and services for years, and that's exactly wrong, because if you do it wrong, you're going to hurt your own reputation. You're not a salesman, no matter how much coaching you get. You never will be a salesman, and you shouldn't be. You can damage your reputation. It's better to have the patient bring up the issue and then just answer questions. Then you become the health expert that can handle these things. That conversation starts because of the materials that you choose to have in your office. The kinds of materials you should have in your waiting room would include something like a monthly newsletter, which I think is the most important thing to have. You can go in detail about a single condition with a newsletter. You can teach your patients, a patient education tool as well as a marketing tool. You can do promotional signs, banners, and flyers. Promoting a specific health solution. We'll get into this a little bit later. It's a good idea if you're going to promote a health to maybe have a theme where everything's about headaches or everything's about insomnia or like that. So you can turn the materials over. Another thing that people love to take quizzes, you have a functional evaluation quiz or questionnaire. We have these things for you. I'll show you how to get them online, including the newsletters. A health report, like that would be like a newsletter that goes into great detail on the kinds of things. You want these materials to focus on a common specific theme, and your patients will ask about the material. They will ask you. You don't have to sell them anything. Okay, before we talk about the materials, I want to say that wellness is not a very specific thing to market for. You really want to market for headaches. You want to market for pain. You want to market specifically for headaches or specifically for insomnia, a specific condition. However, wellness is a good thing to get you started. If you do not have a functional medicine or nutritional practice, I have the materials for you that can get you started with it, because most of the health problems in this country are self-inflicted. So you would have, for instance, on the far left there is a poster that offers a quiz to find out a patient's wellness score. People love to take quizzes. The quiz is on the far right there. You can have a paper quiz. I also have one online for you to do. The newsletter would follow a theme. It'd be, 1 or 2 pages that talks about wellness and the importance of it, and they can read about that. And then the report is it's a more in-depth thing. And each of these pieces has an offer. The poster offers the quiz offers the report tells you to take the quiz. The newsletter can offer the report or the quiz. So what that does is the patient reads one of these pieces, and then it gets them asking about the other pieces and kind of gets them into the whole wellness mood. This is a good way to get started with nutrition. Like I said, you want to have these for more specific conditions also. As you get comfortable with functional medicine, you can start marketing for specific problems. Insomnia is a good one because medicine does such a horrible job. If you read the results of some of the drugs that they're taking, the GABA boosters and whatnot, they don't do a very good job of it. People with insomnia really have a problem. And so what we have is we have a poster that tells them to ask for the insomnia report. We have a newsletter that tells them to take the quiz. The quiz will explain to them why they have insomnia. And then we have an in-depth report that talks about insomnia and natural health care and the kinds of things that can be done. As a result, you will get patients with insomnia. Even if you have a neck backache patient, they might, Cousin Eunice has insomnia, and you'll see Cousin Eunice. This is a good way to build your practice, and it costs nothing. Once you've gotten the marketing set up in your waiting room, now start reaching out to other people. And the next group you want to reach are people that have seen you in the past, are familiar with you, know your services. Practice management types call this recalling. A newsletter is very good for this. You can do it electronically now. You used to have to mail them by hand. It was a bit of an expense, but now you can do it for free, especially if you've been collecting email addresses. You can send a wellness quiz. Take our wellness quiz, come in, have a consult. We'll explain to you the meaning of the wellness quiz. Birthday cards are another good way of getting hold of people that have been in your office in the past. Similarly, you can reach out to people that have gotten in touch with you in the past, or you can send them a newsletter, wellness quiz, and so on. You can also build a list of strangers, people that go to your website and maybe download something for free. Free reports and things like that are very good for that. People can download them. It enables them to create a relationship with you without actually coming into your office, so that when they finally do act on needing health care, you're the person they're going to contact. This ad is the sort of thing that most people think of when they think of marketing. And this is reaching out to the strangers again. And if you're going to reach out to strangers, you want to do it right. Um, Dr. Alan Harper Chiropractic Clinic. Okay, that's your headline. This is the most important part of the ad. Don't waste it with your name. Usually some kind of cliche. Your comfort is our primary concern. There's usually a picture of a spine. And there's usually reasons to go there. A lot of times you put the school that you graduated from, any credentials that you have, how much experience you have, and then a laundry list of complaints: neck pain, back pain, whiplash, headaches, so on and so forth, and then a phone number. This is not a very good ad, and we'll explain why. When placing an ad, you got to realize no one cares about you. They don't care where you graduated. They don't care about your credentials. People expect their doctors to be competent. No one cares about your technique, Gonstead, AK, SOT. And not to denigrate that, the techniques are good and it will get patients better, but it's not part of your marketing program. People don't care about what you do, they care about what you can do for them. The most important part of the ad is the headline. So you want to draw their attention, and you want to draw their attention for something specific: low back pain, insomnia. A good headline, you could even just have a question, because a lot of doctors don't want to say relief from lower back pain, or promise. Some people think that implies a guarantee. But the simple listing of the condition with a question mark is a compelling headline. Then you want a good sub headline: stop suffering, relief from lower back pain is just a phone call away. And then there's an offer. It's always good to have an offer in an ad: free lower back pain report. That gives them a reason to contact you, or you can have it on your website, they can download it. And what that does is that creates people that are familiar with your office, and it starts a relationship. You don't have to get them to come in right now. But when they do act on something and they do want someone to see them, chances are they're going to contact you. See, we'll look at this in another context. This is a different business, and you can get the idea. The ad on the left, one thing it has is a laundry list of, pizza, salad, subs, wings, appetizers. Marketers will tell you that the more things that you have a person know about, the more things that you offer to them, it creates inaction because they're not sure what to do. Okay, the one on the right is much better. Two for Tuesday pizza deal. So you get 2 pizzas for the price of one. I have a specific offer in mind, and it's specifically for pizzas. Okay, and this is a better ad. It's specific, and the headline is more used. You don't waste the headline on the left. They use, once again, the headline is the name of the company. That is not good marketing. Okay, they don't care about the company. They care about what you're going to give them. In this case, 2 for Tuesday pizzas. Here's a good marketing piece for a wellness plan. What's your wellness score? That's a compelling headline. And then the sub-headline: take our free health risk assessment to find out now. That's a compelling sub-headline, and it makes an offer. Okay, it tells you to go to your site. This is set up for an online wellness quiz, which actually can help you with. An important concept for you to understand if you're going to go out into the world and market is something called the rule of 5. And what that means is a person must see a marketing message at least 5 times before acting on it. So running a single ad in a newspaper is usually not a good idea. You want to create a whole program, okay? And you want to do it dirt cheap and free. You can do co-op, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Welcome packages for new residents, put copies of your offer on bulletin boards, sign on your office, email your newsletter with your marketing message, Facebook page, other social media is a good way to market, but you want to have the same message. You don't want to do headaches here and insomnia there. You want to pick a marketing theme and have it in as many places as possible. Co-op is a wonderful way of getting free marketing. It gives you exposure to new people and it's free. And basically what you're doing is you're going to find a related business like a gym or a bike shop or some other business and basically say, I'll promote your stuff if you promote mine. You get them to put your newsletters. Newsletters are really good for this. It creates exposure. It's simple to develop. It lends credibility. And it's important for you, before you contact these people, make sure you understand what's in it for them. Okay? In order to make this work, it has to be attractive to the person that you're offering it to. Here's a concept that's common among marketers is why people buy things. Okay, people don't buy things because they need them. Okay, otherwise we'd all be driving very practical cars instead of the variety of things that are on the road. People buy things because it either fulfills a desire or it solves a problem. Need may initiate the buying process, but it never closes the deal. Fear and desire are the two core motivators. That's pure and simple. And this is the reason to get into functional medicine. Your practice can solve a problem. Right now, healthcare in the United States is 3.7 trillion in counting. It's 11 grand per person. It's 18% of our GDP. Most nations only spend about 10% of their GDP. The American medical system does such a poor job of treating chronically ill, it really presents you with a marketing opportunity. I'm reminded of Ignaz Semmelweis, who back in the 19th century was trying to get surgeons to wash their hands between patients, and he was literally hounded out of the profession. He lost his job because he said something so revolutionary and was suppressed. And it's odd because the same people, same types of people are running our healthcare system today. All natural healthcare is ignored. Well, they use the common thing, well, you haven't proven that. They said that to Semmelweis, you haven't proven that washing your hands can save lives. And we can do a better job, and results is a marketing thing. That's, you want to market to get your practice going, but at a certain point it should be done on referral, because the one thing we haven't talked about is that once you market and get them in the door, you have to deliver. And functional medicine is a way to deliver. And we're spending a lot of money on healthcare. We're not getting much for our money. We're way behind most of the civilized nations. We have the highest numbers of hospitalizations from preventable causes. It ranks last among industrialized nations when it comes to death that could have been prevented. And in general, if you look at chronic disease, sinusitis, allergies, ADD, whatnot, the medical solutions are not very good. They either make them worse or they create other problems. It's because we're obsessed, or our healthcare system is obsessed with finding patentable solutions for health problems. And we know better than that. That's why it's important for you to get into functional medicine. And here's some more facts about how bad our healthcare system is. We're last in infant mortality among civilized nations, more preventable deaths than most civilized nations. We're at the bottom of the list for life expectancy, preventable hospital administrations. The list goes on and on. We do not have good healthcare in this country. As far as your marketing audience goes, there is no shortage of sick people. And functional medicine is an opportunity for chiropractors and other practitioners. Medical doctors can be doing this too. And you shouldn't be intimidated. A lot of people that have not done nutrition, functional medicine in their practice are afraid they don't know enough. And the fact of the matter is that 10% of what you know fixes 90% of the problems. Most of our it literally is as easy as telling someone who's smacking themselves in the head with a ball peen hammer and complaining of headaches to tell them to stop hitting themselves in the head. Our diets are so bad. The food industry has gotten people addicted on food that's destroying their health. We have a diet that in 30 days it will change the life of most people. I'll provide that for you. And just start with a wellness program because you're not, with natural health care, you're not treating a disease. You can take something like asthma. Okay. Most asthmatics will improve if you give them a high dose of magnesium. That's been studied, it's been proven. But what you have to understand is magnesium does not treat asthma. Magnesium treats a magnesium deficiency. Now, if you're asthmatic and you happen to have a magnesium deficiency, your symptoms are going to be worse. Okay, so you're not treating disease, you're fixing infrastructure. And in doing so, you're never wrong. If you're doing something positive, you're still helping your patients. And there's a learning curve. You will always feel like you don't know enough. But if you get started, you'll be, I think, stunned by how many chronically ill people you can get better. And of course, marketing, think of it like priming a pump. If your practice is not doing as well as you think it should, or you want more people, uh, then use some marketing. At some point, especially if you're delivering, getting patients better is the best marketing. At some point, it's going to turn into all referrals. And you'll see a lot of these practices that are doing effective functional medicine. They've got waiting lists, and you could be there too. Simply addressing inflammation will give you a credible functional medicine practice, and that can be done entirely with diet. And just remember, you're not treating disease, you're treating the patients that have the disease. So fix infrastructure. That's what functional medicine is all about. So you can never be wrong. And the best way to start a functional medicine practice is to start a functional medicine practice because the chronic illness, the way the medical profession is working, the influence of the pharmaceutical industry, they're doing such a miserable job that if you're halfway doing a decent job, you're going to do better. I created this patient handbook called Roadmap to Health, and basically it's anti-inflammatory nutrition. It gives them a diet that fights inflammation, but also helps balance the microbiome. It's hypoallergenic. The book has recipes, has menu plans, and you ask the patient to do it for 30 days. The 30-day thing is very important because whether you realize it or not, the fast food industry, the junk food industry, actually hires neuroscientists to get people hooked on their products. They do PET scans and they look for what triggers the pleasure center, whether it's how much sugar versus salt, what kind of sugar, salt, and fat they put in there, what triggers it the best. So they're always working on their formulas, and they've created a nation full of addicts. So when you tell somebody, oh, you have to give this up, it's like telling an addict they can't have their heroin. But 30 days they can do it, in about 72 hours they're out of the addiction phase, and then they're in charge. And also they'll get to see how much better they feel. I mean, the runaway obesity, heart disease, all the things that are happening is because we eat all these non-foods. And if you simply do that, you'll be amazed at how many, PMS, sinusitis, ADHD, so many things get better. And then some basic supplementation, and you have a functional medicine practice. And this booklet is free, the PDF is free, and I'm happy to supply you with it. And when you do nutritional counseling, please understand you are dealing with addicts. The processed food companies have gotten people hooked, and if you look at the food that the quote unquote food that they put in kids, they get kids hooked at a very early age. They got them eating junk food in the lunchrooms in there for a long time. And I'm stunned by this because if you put a cigarette machine in a school, everyone would be upset. You put a liquor store across the street from a school, everyone gets upset. But yet we get them hooked on things that are just as bad for their health. And when you suggest that people give up some of these things, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of blowback. That's why I like the 30-day plan. If you don't do any nutrition in your office, you can start with simple wellness. You'll be stunned. We've put one together for you, and all these materials are available for you. Happy to give them to you, customize them for your office. A wellness program will get people, it will at least get you some improvement. So for instance, if you have a patient with asthma, and you can put them on a wellness program for 30 days, they are going to get some improvement. There may be more that you have to do. A lot of times gut ecology, microbiome has to do with asthma, but that gives you time to find out what to do for that. Supplementing with things like iodine and magnesium and antioxidants will improve your results. But you have time because you're not treating the disease. You're just fixing the infrastructure and restoring health to the patient. And it's not emergency medicine, and you will be doing a better job than the medical system is. Doctors started with functional medicine. It's kind of a passion of mine, and so I've written, kind of functional medicine 101. They're not comprehensive. There's very good things written out there. When you read this, you're still going to have more to learn, but this is stuff that can get you started. You start fixing 80-90% of your patients, and then you'll learn from the other ones. And I'm happy to supply these for free. Contact me. I'll give you information here. Getting doctors started with functional medicine is a passion of mine. I figure if enough of us are getting enough chronically ill people better, it will change the whole nature of healthcare. And I'm happy to give you the materials, those PDFs on how to get started if you don't have a nutritional practice. If you want help with marketing materials, I can customize stuff for your office. I'm happy to do that. Anything you need, really. I've got stuff posted on drvarnus.com. I'll be adding more all the time. But feel free, and if you do not do functional medicine, just get started. You'd be surprised at how little will help. And please consider this. Contact me if you need help. Thank you very much.